Smart 24, driving business.
Good morning once again, and good to have you here once more. Joram Paul Soko and Mercy in the morning. Good morning, Mercy.
Good morning, Jerome. Good morning, Uganda. Good morning, East Africa and the entire globe. It's a good morning, and we are excited to be here. Your daily Kickstarter, and of course, Smart 24 TV. Thank you for being a good audience. We drive business, and we're here to give you business updates and what's trending, and very much more. So sit down, relax. We got you.
All right. And indeed, we have you this morning to make sure that we give you all the business information as it's supposed to be. And of course, as we kickstart off your morning, one of the other key aspects that you need to have in your mind is to make sure that you kickstart off your day with a mind of making money. And how best can you make money? Invest. Investing in government bonds and securities is something that you should be able to utilize and use as an individual. Grow your investments and make sure that you continue to do so by making it more possible for you to be part of Uganda's ever-evolving investment world. *292# is the USSD code that you need to use to kickstart off your investment. And also remember, with the Zabo platform, it is very easy and quite simpler to kickstart off your investment. All you need is 15,000 Ugandan shillings to kickstart off your investment. And remember, with the Zabo platform, all you need to have is 15,000 Ugandan shillings, your national identification number, to kickstart off your investment in government bonds and other securities. And well, as we continue to give you more of the updates, tomorrow the month of May is coming to an end. And by the look of things, if you are to look back at the month of May, there are lots of business situations that have been happening, and of course quite a number of business highlights to come back and look at and try to understand more about the business world. And I will tell you, there are lots of things that the business community should as well know of in relation to key highlights for you, Mercy. Month of May, as we're coming to an end tomorrow.
Of course, what's made headlines actually throughout this month was infrastructure. The roads in Kampala, they were in dire state, and people were up and down talking about it. Businessmen were affected. And of course, we can't forget the floods that happened in various countries, actually, in the various districts, western region, and of course, recently, the Katonga Bridge that burst its banks. Of course, the expired debts, and of course, the budget, upcoming budget. There are very many things that have been highlighted throughout this month. It has been a month of ups and downs, some achievements and downfalls.
Well, and of course, one of the other key highlights is the fact that Parliament passed the 52.7 trillion budget, rather. This has also been one of the reasons as to why when we get into the month of June, you get to highly expect it to be the budget month. So discussions have always been going on in Parliament. Various committees have been sitting, and ever since the sittings were done, well, Parliament came out to at least, agree and pass a 52.7 trillion budget. And of course, that is what we expect to be presented to the country in the next financial year, or what is going to be presented before Ugandans come the 14th of June, this very month that is coming up. It's just one day to go for us to get into the month of June. But of course, again, when you look at the month of May, there are quite a number of other things that have actually been happening in here. Looking back at the fact that when you look at the issue to do with security matters, which has greatly been a key highlight of whether we as a country are definitely safe or secure for the business community to continue driving their own business, and also are we having a conducive for investors to come in and set up these various businesses. So it is huge. These are some of the concerns that have actually been coming up. We've as well seen doctors, intern doctors, going on strike on matters to do with some actually saying deploy interns, the others saying the working conditions are favorable to most of them. But of course, just like he has mentioned, as well, the issues to do with infrastructure and development. Most of the Ugandans feel the government is doing less efforts, especially around the capital. Those are lots of things. And of course, we saw also floods in Katonga, that is overflooding, and the river in Katonga, actually the bridge at the Katonga River, that is at the Kampala-Masaka Highway, making it even more worse for people to travel to the western part of Uganda, especially those who use that route. So you want to think of the month of May as one that has actually given us, advantages, but at the same time, been, a bit challenging for policymakers.
Yes, of course, I must say, was it this month actually, I feel like we have done something tremendous when it comes to tourism. Of course, like you saw, there was tour of the West. And of course, we are anticipating for, is it this week?
Yeah, this week, tomorrow.
This week, people are going to take adventures and go to northern Uganda. So I believe the tourism industry is doing their part to make sure that they inform people, they market.
They're actually setting off today.
They are setting off today. Quite interesting right there. So if you've not had a chance to, if you've not had a chance to, visit northern Uganda, this could have been your moment. But then you can still go there anytime, any day. We are actually, it's actually cheaper in Uganda, within Ugandan tourists actually. It's just affordable. You just need transport and maybe accommodation money, or if the place is nearby, just get and pay just a fee, 5,000, 10,000, and you can enjoy the sceneries that we have gotten. So it starts with us, and I must commend Tourism Ministry for the great job.
Well, of course. And the month of June will be kicking off as early as Thursday. That will be fast. But when you look at what is happening in Uganda currently, this week is also one where the religious fraternity, more so the Catholics and the Christians. But that aside, we now face our wrath to the other side of the press review this morning. All right, now with the Daily Monitor, with me, Mercy has caught the new vision. It shows that university heads want expired courses baptized. This is according to what the Daily Monitor is writing. Is caught. Remember, she's still in the saga to do with the iron sheets. Then, furthermore, the anti-gay bombshell, the law asset shakes relations with the West, including the bilateral relations that could affect the trade between and the Western world. Then Uganda law. On the other hand, clerics have praised President Museveni for signing the anti-gay law, and the US warns Uganda as Uganda is facing sanctions over the move. But surprisingly, this is not the only law that the president asserted to, but obviously it's one that caught the attention of many at the end of it all. Now, also on the other hand, is the Jinja Diocese has flagged, and of course the Namugongo Martyrs Day is 3rd Saturday this week.
Of course, on my end, making headlines still, this is quite huge for Uganda. long-awaited signing. Anyway, new anti-gay law bans recruitment. Yesterday, the president of Uganda is anti-gay law, and of course, the U.S. revoked the speaker's visas, so that means she won't be able to access of that. Now, NRM retreat, President Museveni cautions MP delay police housing project, angers General Tafire, and we are still advocating for plastics. We are recycling them. We are advocating for a greener environment. So please, if you have
yeah. And of course, of course, there's the full detail here, where vice chancellors suggested that the reassessment of degree programs be transferred from the National Council for Higher Education to the universities themselves. The Daily Monitor is giving you more details. Now, Minister has asked RDC to act on disputed when you come to think of it, land issues in Uganda continue to be a huge one in regards to what is happening more so in up-country areas and various districts. Of course, the Ministry of Lands has continued to make sure that they work more on that. And in the magazine of Prosper, high economic stakes for Uganda in the DRC, there are more details regarding the tangible benefits where the business people or the business community will easily the DRC and the other issues.
Of course, schools recorded a low turnout of students due to the high increase in school fees. And I believe, I don't know, every term, I think there is an additional 10,000 that's actually increase on, and it's affecting parents actually. If you have your plan for your children, and of course you see on it's been increased, that means it's going to be problematic.
Yeah.
Now, the Ginger Express Highway, Cabinet approves compensation of the 7,160 six affected persons.
Well, of course, you get to realize that is something of a huge concern, more so when schools are actually reopening. Well, today doesn't look to be a very busy morning when it comes to the atmosphere, but who is on in Wandegea is likely to be what he feels on ground currently and what his observation is like in relation to how the vehicles, motorcycles are moving this morning, for you as a road user to trace greatly before you kickstart off your day. As we get to Berite Andrew, who is actually on ground, not in Wandegea though, for the moment, he will be giving us more details to where he is currently, and to at least give us more of the observation in relation to how the traffic flow is at the moment. But by the look of things in his background.
German Massey. Yes, a very good morning once again. I'm Andrew Barigi, coming live here at the Fairway traffic lights, and of course, atmosphere as in here things, well, it's a little bit congested, like, of course, as we all know that it's the week when, of course, the students and the pupils are going back to school, children going back, the different congestions in the different junctions, which has not been the case actually if we are to take a look at the past days. Now, of course, where I'm standing here on my very back end, that is the Yusuf Lule Road, of course, connecting towards Garden City as you're heading towards the golf course, heading towards Ginger Road. You can take a look there. It seems to be a little bit slightly congested. Of course, the vehicles held in intervals of 3 to 5 minutes, before they are being set free to go on to the other different destinations. And this time around, we see that they are the traffic officers that are in total control. And that explains why we see quite some heavy congestions around this particular area here. Yes. Now, of course, still looking at the John Wabiha route, which connects all the way from the Kamocha. Yes, Kanjicha Street, those areas coming towards Seziwa Road, which connects towards Nakasero. You can take a look of quite a number of vehicles, a heavy fleet of vehicles. It shows you that there is quite a number of them. And for people that are coming in from Kamocha, and probably your destination is Nakasero. If you're coming in from Kamocha and your destination, you're probably heading towards Garden City, you're heading towards Chibuli, well, you might be held a little bit back. Yes, you might be held back for you to execute what you ought to execute. So it's quite congested here. Take a look, quite a number of borders here and a few pedestrians that are walking by the roadsides. But, well, as we know that majority of the children are going back to school, so that explains where we see quite so many private vehicles on the road. Yes, of course, still in the back to school week, Monday up to Friday. Basically, that's what we should anticipate. So for any person that you know that you have quite tight schedules in such a week, make sure you don't risk. Move early enough from home and go to where you're heading. Because even still here, as they are being set free on the Yusuf Lule route, along there, I can see quite a heavy congestion still. So you might be still delayed a little bit for you to reach at Garden City. And you connect to the Ginger Road traffic lights to proceed to any other destination. There is quite some congestion in the middle there, in the as according. Now, of course, these are the vehicles that are coming in from Yusuf Lule route connecting towards Wandegea. Yes, that one is quite okay. It's very friendly. If you're coming in from city center and you're connecting towards Wandegea, and probably you're likely to pass via the Yusuf Lule route this side of Garden City near the golf course, well, it's very okay for you. You will be able to reach in the time that you're required to reach. I think it's the route that I've seen that is quite free, according to the look of things, as compared to these other routes. Yes. Of course, despite the fact that we take a look that vehicles are being set and it seems to be a little bit calm, well, it's deceptive in nature. It's very deceptive because as we came on air, it was really congested. Yes, for the people that are heading towards those different destinations. Like I said, probably the traffic officers being in control of this could be one of the factors that are causing this particular factor of the congestion. Of course, accompanied with other external factors, according to how the week is really moving. So that is how we are observing the situation here at the Fairway traffic light. So if you have a business to execute and probably you're going to use this route to go to any other destination that connects there, well, you better be a little bit timely, because as we speak right now, if it goes beyond the next 30 minutes, it's going to be quite very hard for you to make it through to get to those other destinations and execute what you're planning to execute. Now, you see what I told you? It seemed like it had been set free, but finally vehicles have been held again. Take a look at that fleet of vehicles coming in from the John Babiha road. It's quite heavy. So that really clearly portrays a picture that once they are held, and remember that very route has a number of traffic lights on it, so you will definitely be delayed. If you're coming in from Kamocha and you plan to head towards Nakasero, or even you're planning to leave that area and connect towards Garden City, well, it might be a little bit harder for you to reach in the required time. Well, that is it for the traffic updates this morning. I've been Andrew Barija, coming live here at the Fairway traffic lights, definitely observing the traffic atmosphere. And
for anyone out there who's going to Nakasero, those who are heading to Abukoto, more so those who use that same route, Mulago, that is how the traffic atmosphere is at the moment for those who are in there and those who want to, try to kickstart off your morning. You can easily see it's not that busy as we would expect for a day. But well, besides that, as we continue to give you more business updates, remember to kickstart off your day with investment. And the only way to kickstart off your investment day is by simply dialing *292# to kickstart off your investment journey. And of course, with Zabu is a platform by Altex East Africa which says do something new. Markets open at 8:15 a.m. and closing time is 3:15 p.m. East African Standard Time. Please do note that these markets are fully closed during the weekends and on public holidays. And Zabu says, my money, my future. Altex East Africa reminds you to do something new. Remember, you can only register with your national identification number. In the next 24 hours, you're ready to invest. Zabu, my money, my future. After the break, me and Marcy will return with giving you more details coming in from the East African region. That is business stories from the Caribbean East African perspective, and also the SMB International Updates. Good morning.